So today, I want to talk about the mystical teaching of the art of not giving a damn. Now, the art of not giving a damn doesn't mean that you don't care. In fact, it means quite the opposite. It means rising to a higher advanced perspective, and what you will notice is that nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems. It also means rising higher than a perceived drama that might be going on. And it also means not turning yourself into a pretzel to please others. Ever done that before? Both my hands are up. Not too long ago, I was listening to a YouTube video from a man by the name of Andy Petro. And in it, he talked about his near-death experience when he drowned and he had crossed over to the other side. And at that moment, he said that there was this great chorus of all of his loved ones that were saying, "Andy, welcome home." And he was enveloped in great light. He was enveloped in this great love of God. His experience was just extraordinary. And I'm not going to go into the whole story. However, what caught my attention the most was that the light of God told him some very significant things. Told him that everything on planet Earth, is but an illusion. Nothing is real. Only the light and the love of God is real. And then he said, when you are on planet Earth, it's like being in a Broadway play. And there are 8 billion actors, each doing their part. But remember, it is not real. Which reminded me, when I heard this, I thought, oh, this reminds me of one of my favorite analogies, because I couldn't understand why all of these, great teachers, even when I was in ministerial school, and they kept saying, oh, life is an illusion. And I said, but what does that mean? Because it feels pretty real to me. So this analogy was something that I just happened upon, and it has saved me more than once, especially when I'm in my own drama. And it is that of opening night at the theater. And if you are a theater goer, then you know what happens on opening night of a play. The author of the play has been developing the plot, nurturing the lines for the characters, and giving extra attention to the theme and the intent of the play. And this has been going on for a long period of time. And finally, it's opening night. The author's idea, the application of all the talent, is now bearing fruit. And so he gets to see everything that he has written and produced and directed. At long last, the playwright and the audience are all moved by the whole experience. It's all very exciting. Now, how does all of this apply to you and me and being able to achieve absolute well-being and not giving a damn when all around us is a tad bit chaotic? The answer is very simple, really. You are the author, the producer, and point to yourself. Everybody just point to themselves. You are the author, you are the producer, and you are the star of your own autobiography. You are in your own hologram. You are in your own play. And that is why gurus, sages, masters, unity, the great manuscripts of the Buddhist texts and the Course in Miracles all say, life is an illusion. It is not real. First of all, I would like to submit to you that you are not only the actor, the director, the producer of your play, you are also the audience. When you have gone to the theater and you watch a play, what's going on? The job of the actors is to make you feel something. The job of the characters and the plot of the play is to have you emotionally hooked into what's going on, right? Just like watching the news. What's the job of the news? Is to make you feel something. And I don't know about you, but I don't always feel so good afterwards because I'm an empath. I get hooked in. It's like, oh, I feel awful. So, for instance, you look at the play of your everyday life and notice, just notice, how we react to the actions of others. Maybe you had to deal with somebody recently and you reacted in shock of the day. One moment you're happy and the next moment you're sad. One moment you're victorious and the next moment you're frustrated. One moment you're depressed and the next moment you're elated. All as a result of viewing your life from the actor, from the audience point of view. We get all hooked in, right? Meaning that you're in it. You've just put your whole self in it. Now hang in there with me for a moment, because we're going deeper, man. I would submit that you in your mind and your emotions, when they rise and when they fall upon how things are in the world around you, then you are not viewing your life from the best seat in the house, the balcony seat. The balcony seat. This is where your life is from an elevated consciousness. You are viewing the actors and the audience from a higher mind, from your Buddha, Christ self. And it is called the power of noticing, the power of observation, being the witness. You want a simpler life? Anybody want a simpler life in here? Yes, you want to live a life of well-being. And if so, your power seat is at the balcony. It is your Buddha Christ nature. You see, shifting into noticing and observing is one of your greatest superpowers, my friends. My friends, it is an illusion to believe that things out there are causing your suffering. In his book, The Tethered Soul, fantastic book, it's so fantastic, Michael Singer talks about how to elevate your consciousness when something wants to trigger you. He says at the moment when your mind starts to chitter-chatter, you know, that little maniac in your head that wants to complain about things and make your life complicated. Well, a lot of us are addicted to that. That little voice can be addicted to drama. And you have to decide, he says. He says, do you really want to step into this right now? That's one of the questions he says. Ask, do you really want to step into this right now? Meaning, do you want to make it into a full-length opera of the mind where you go into suffering? Or, this is another question, he says, do you need to solve this right now? Ask that question, do I need to solve this right now? Or, he says, am I willing to lean away? Go to the balcony seat of my Buddha Christ self and simply notice, simply observe, and let the energy pass by. You witness the drama, but you are not the drama. You are no longer in the plot. My friends, from that perspective, you care, but you don't give a damn. From that perspective, you care, but you don't give a damn. It takes profound discipline. It takes profound self-regulation to witness your thoughts, but not get plugged in emotionally into your thoughts. You can step back, go into your balcony, your higher mind, and you can say this when you're noticing, oh, look at that. My mind is in judgment right now. Oh, look at that. My emotions are angry right now. You're just noticing. And then you can see what all the gurus, the sages, the masters were talking about when they all said, life is an illusion. It isn't what it seems. It is your very own hologram. So here's a story about Baba Ram Das. In the 1960s, he, along with 200 other people, did a meditation with his teacher, the Maharaji. And the meditation included a vow. They all took this vow that for 50 minutes, they would not move their bodies, just not move whatsoever. They would have to keep completely still. So before Ram Dass did the meditation, he thought, okay, I'm going to bring all these pillows. So he brought pillows, all around him to sit on, and he made sure that he would be comfortable for the whole 50 minutes. The meditation began, and he shifted into the witness, and happily he's just witnessing his thoughts go by, when all of a sudden he noticed that he could hear a mosquito coming towards him. He witnessed his thoughts of wishing that it would land on someone else in the room. However, the mosquito found its way on his cheek, just looking for a little tasty place, if you know what I'm saying. And so then Ram Dass felt the little needle, go piercing into his cheek, and he had to remain completely still. The mosquito's little body is getting heavier with his blood. And then all this time, he's remaining still, just witnessing the voice within. And then the mosquito left, a little heavier than when he landed on his cheek. And he felt this profound itching. He wanted to move so badly just to itch his cheek. He said that it was an itch beyond all itch. But something remarkable happened. He actually shifted out of his body, and he was literally observing from a higher perspective, his balcony seat, his higher mind, his Buddha, Christ nature, and it was there that there was no itching. It was there that the itch didn't even exist, and he was at peace. The rest of the 50 minutes seemed effortless. He was able to just keep still and keep true to his vow to not move. You see, if you watch from the balcony seat, from the higher mind, and you watch this stuff that you're reacting to all the time, you understand that, and this is important, just in case if you're about ready to fall asleep, this is important. You decide what things mean. It's your play. You decide what things mean. And I know this to be true. There's been times after I give a talk, I have had this experience so many times where somebody will come up to me and go, are you doing okay? You don't look very good. And 5 minutes later, man, you look fantastic. What are you doing for yourself? And I think, it's all perspective. It's all our own little world. We are all making whatever we want to mean. We apply meaning to things. That's it. You are the only one that assigns meaning to circumstances, people, and conditions. Those on stage, right? The actors in the plot are acting their hearts out. On the stage, the acting is just, there's a plot and the audience, they're reacting and they're watching and they're all giving meaning. They're all giving meaning to what they see. My friends, let's say you just had one day to live. For me, I'd order a pizza right now, but one day to live. Would you continue to be involved in the play of planet Earth with all of its dramatic actors? Or would you react with the audience and you get all agitated? And would you get all fearful or worried or angry or judgmental? Or would you just observe? Would you be a witness from the balcony seat and just love it all? Love it all as it is. If so, would you come into then your Buddha Christ nature? Isn't that where we all want to be? And so in the wise words of William Shakespeare, all the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his lifetime plays many parts. My friends, it is all just you starring in your own play. It is all your hologram. Do with it what you please. And from your balcony seat, you observe, you care, you love it as it is, but you just don't give a damn. And with that, can I get an amen?